The school hallway roared with morning noise. But in the middle of all that rushing energy, a single girl moved as if she were carrying invisible chains. 11-year-old Amara walked slowly, guarding her back like a fragile wound. She held her backpack strangely, gripping it by the strap so it wouldn't brush against the pain burning beneath her shirt. Each step sent a quiet shock through her spine, but she didn't dare make a sound. She had learned how to hide pain. She had learned how to hide everything. When she entered class, the wooden chair felt like a threat rather than a seat. The moment she tried to sit, her face twisted, and a silent tear escaped down her cheek. She wiped it fast, praying no one had seen, but Miss Carter had. Teachers can recognize when a child is hurting in ways that go beyond scraped knees and playground falls. Within minutes, Amara's struggle became impossible to hide. She couldn't bend. She couldn't sit. She couldn't even lie about being okay. Something terrible was hiding beneath her silence, something she had carried for far too long, and today that secret was finally breaking. Wait a second. Let us know where you're watching from in the comments, and make sure to subscribe for more powerful and inspiring stories just like this one. Amara lived a life split between two worlds, one where she pretended everything was normal, and another where she braced herself for every sound in the night. At school, she was quiet, polite, and careful, always trying to blend into the background. Teachers praised her manners, her focus, and her calmness. What they didn't know was that her calmness came from survival, not personality. Her father, Carlos, had once been a gentleman, back when her adoptive mother was alive. But after losing his job, his grief twisted into anger. And when anger needed a place to land, it always landed on Amara. At first, it was yelling, then accusations, then cruelty, and then something worse, something far more dangerous than emotional wounds. He blamed her for everything, for his job loss, for financial problems, for ruining his life. But beneath those excuses lived something darker, resentment toward her race. He reminded her she wasn't his real child, that she looked different, and that people judged him because of her appearance. Those words cut deeper than any belt ever could. The morning of the incident, she had tried to hide the bruises as she dressed. She thought if she wore a loose shirt and smiled enough, maybe no one would notice. But bruises that deep have a way of speaking even when the person cannot. And today her pain was too loud to silence. The classroom felt like a spotlight. Every time Amara shifted in her chair, her breath hitched sharply. She leaned forward, tried sitting sideways, and tried lifting her weight with her feet, but nothing helped. The pain was everywhere. Ms. Carter finally approached with slow, gentle steps. "Amara, sweetheart, are you feeling okay?" The girl shook her head fast, too fast. Fear flashed across her eyes, not pain. That fear told the teacher everything she needed to know. She called the class to silent reading, then guided Amara into the hallway. There, without the curious stares, the girl tried to stand tall. But she was trembling. Her fingers fidgeted. Her eyes avoided every question. When the school nurse arrived, she spoke with the kindness of someone who had seen too many wounded children. She asked if she could look at Amara's back. The girl hesitated, then nodded. The moment her shirt lifted, the nurse froze. Dark, swollen bruises covered her back like storms painted on delicate skin. Some were fresh, purple, and painful. Others were older, fading but still visible, proof of repeated abuse. A belt mark curved across her lower back. Another across her shoulders. The nurse swallowed hard, fighting tears. "Who hurt you?" she whispered. Amara's lips trembled. Tears pooled but didn't fall. "My dad. He said it's because I don't look like him. Because people stare. Because I'm different." There it was, the truth that lived beneath the bruises, not just violence, racism inside the walls of her own home. The counselor joined them. Then the principal. Then a call to Child Protective Services was made. But before CPS could arrive, something happened that escalated everything. Her father showed up at the school, storming through the front office, yelling her name, demanding she be brought to him. His face twisted with rage, his words slurred with hatred. And the moment he shouted, "She's not even mine, she's trouble!" everyone saw what Amara had been living with. Carlos shoved past the secretary, shouting that the school had no right to interfere. Staff blocked the hallway, refusing to let him near the child. His anger exploded like a bomb. He yelled insults, racial slurs, excuses, and accusations. Everything he had ever tried to hide erupted in the school hallway, exposing the cruelty Amara had endured. Police were called. He kept shouting. He kept denying it. He kept blaming her. But the bruises told the truth he couldn't cover. When officers restrained him, he still screamed that she was the problem, that she was ungrateful, and that she ruined his life. His words echoed through the hallway like poison. Amara watched from behind the counselor, shaking as the nightmare she feared most finally unfolded before her eyes. She expected him to glare at her, to threaten her, to reach for her, but for the first time ever, he couldn't. Handcuffed, powerless, and exposed, he was taken away, and Amara realized something she had never felt before. She was safe. That night, Amara was taken to a safe foster home. The house smelled like fresh bread and warm light. The woman who welcomed her didn't raise her voice, didn't ask harsh questions, and didn't look at her with blame. She simply said, "You're safe here, sweetheart." For the first time in years, Amara slept without flinching at footsteps outside her door. She slept on soft blankets instead of fear. She slept, knowing no belt, no shouting, and no hatred would wake her. Over the next weeks, she met counselors, doctors, and teachers who all stood by her side. Her bruises faded slowly, but the emotional healing took longer. Yet she was no longer healing alone. Her story spread among school staff, reminding them how easy it is to miss the signs. How silence can hide a child's suffering. How racism can live inside a home without anyone knowing. Amara's journey became a symbol of courage for every child suffering in silence, for every bruise hidden under sleeves, and for every painful truth left unspoken. How many children are hurting right now, unseen and unheard, while the world walks past them? Where are you watching from? Take care.